Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, unable to move, with a crushing weight on your chest? If so, you're not alone. This terrifying experience, known as sleep paralysis, has haunted humans for centuries. And in 1781, one artist captured this nightmarish phenomenon in a painting that would become an iconic representation of our deepest fears. Let's break down the painting's key elements. The woman's pose is particularly striking. Her position, stretched backward with arms thrown down, was believed at the time to encourage nightmares. The brilliant white of her dress and skin creates a stark contrast against the rich reds and browns of the background, drawing our eye immediately to her vulnerable form. The incubus, the grotesque creature sitting on her chest, is perhaps the painting's most disturbing element. With its ape-like features and hunched posture, it stares directly at the viewer, making us uncomfortable accomplices to this nocturnal violation. The creature represents the physical sensation many people experience during sleep paralysis, the feeling of a heavy weight pressing down on their chest. Then there's the horse, whose name gives us the word nightmare itself, though mare in this context doesn't actually refer to a female horse. It comes from mara, a Scandinavian term for a spirit that torments sleepers. Fuseli added the horse as an afterthought, but its presence adds another layer of psychological horror to the scene. Its ghostly head, pushing through the curtains with those disturbing white eyes, seems to represent the boundary between reality and nightmare. Fuseli's technical skill is evident in every aspect of the painting. His use of chiaroscuro, the contrast between light and dark, creates a dramatic theatrical effect. The woman's pale form seems to glow against the murky background, while the incubus emerges from the shadows like a creature born of darkness itself. The composition is carefully planned to lead our eye through the painting's narrative. We move from the woman's illuminated form to the dark presence above her, then to the ghostly horse in the background. The red velvet curtains frame the scene like a theater set, adding to the painting's dreamlike quality. Beyond the haunting imagery of the nightmare lies a deeply personal tale of unrequited love and artistic sublimation. When Henry Fuseli put brush to canvas in 1781, he was wrestling with an overwhelming passion for Anna Landolt, the niece of his close friend and confidant Johann Caspar Lavater. This wasn't merely a passing infatuation. It was an all-consuming obsession that would transform his art forever. Fuseli's private letters from this period reveal the tortured soul of an artist in the grip of desperate love. In a particularly revealing letter to Lavater from 1779, he wrote with startling intensity, "Last night I had her in bed with me, tossed my bedclothes hugger-mugger, wound my hot and tight-clasped hands around her, fused her body and soul together with my own, poured into her my spirit, breath, and strength. Anyone who touches her now commits adultery and incest. She is mine and I am hers, and have her I will." These fevered words find their visual expression in The Nightmare. The woman's abandoned pose, her head thrown back in what might be ecstasy or terror, mirrors the conflicted nature of Fuseli's desires. The incubus perched upon her chest becomes a dark manifestation of his own repressed passion, while the horse peering through the curtains might represent his conscience or society's judgment of these forbidden feelings. Adding weight to this interpretation is a remarkable discovery made on the painting itself, an unfinished portrait on the reverse of the canvas, believed by many art historians to be of Anna Landolt. This hidden image serves as a poignant reminder of the real woman behind Fuseli's fantasy, forever trapped beneath the surface of his most famous work. The personal dimension of The Nightmare adds layers of complexity to its interpretation. What at first appears to be a straightforward depiction of supernatural terror becomes something far more nuanced. A psychological self-portrait of an artist grappling with forbidden desire. Through this lens, we can see how Fuseli transformed his private torment into universal art, channeling his frustrated passion into a work that would resonate with viewers for centuries to come. While Fuseli may have been expressing his personal demons, he simultaneously captured with remarkable accuracy a neurological phenomenon that science would take another century to fully understand: sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis occurs in that liminal space between sleeping and waking, when consciousness returns but the body remains in its natural state of REM sleep paralysis. Modern neuroscience has revealed that during REM sleep, the brainstems release chemicals that temporarily paralyze most of our muscles, preventing us from acting out our dreams. Sometimes, however, our consciousness awakens before this paralysis wears off, leading to the terrifying experience that Fuseli captured so vividly. Research has shown that between 8 and 50% of people will experience sleep paralysis at least once in their lifetime. The experience typically includes 3 key elements, all of which Fuseli depicted with uncanny accuracy. First, there's the complete inability to move, reflected in the woman's helpless pose on the bed. Second, there's the sensation of pressure on the chest, personified by the squatting incubus. Finally, there's the perception of a threatening presence nearby, represented both by the demon and the ghostly horse peering through the curtains. What makes Fuseli's depiction particularly remarkable is how he managed to capture the hallucinatory aspects of sleep paralysis. During these episodes, sufferers often report seeing shadowy figures or feeling malevolent presences. These hallucinations, known as hypnagogic or hypnopompic hallucinations, are now understood to be caused by the brain's attempt to make sense of the disconnection between consciousness and physical paralysis. Contemporary sleep researchers have even noted how patients' descriptions of their experiences often mirror elements of Fuseli's painting, despite many having never seen it. This suggests that the artist tapped into something fundamental about how our brains process this terrifying experience, creating a visual vocabulary that continues to resonate with sleep paralysis sufferers today. Moving beyond both personal and scientific interpretations, the nightmare reveals itself as a masterful exploitation of the boundaries between different realms of human experience. Like a bridge spanning multiple chasms, the painting connects various dualities that define our existence: the conscious and unconscious, reality and fantasy, reason and imagination. The composition itself embodies these dualities. The woman's physical form, rendered with classical precision, anchors us in the material world. Yet the supernatural elements, the incubus and the horse, pull us into the realm of nightmare and imagination. The setting, a bedroom, traditionally a space of safety and rest, becomes transformed into a theater where these opposing forces clash and merge. Fuseli's genius lies in how he uses these elements to create multiple layers of meaning. The heavy red curtains, for instance, serve both as realistic bedroom furnishings and as theatrical drapes, suggesting we're witnessing a performance of sorts. The horse's head, emerging from behind these curtains, exists simultaneously as a literal nightmare and as a symbol of primal fears pushing through the thin veil between conscious and unconscious mind. The painting also bridges different historical and philosophical traditions. Created during the Age of Reason, it nevertheless embraces the irrational and supernatural, suggesting that human experience cannot be fully contained by rational thought alone. It draws on ancient folklore about demons and night spirits while anticipating modern psychological insights about the unconscious mind. Sigmund Freud would later keep a reproduction of the painting in his Vienna office. Perhaps most importantly, the nightmare bridges the gap between individual and universal experience. While the scene depicts a deeply private moment, its power lies in its ability to tap into shared human fears and experiences. Through his masterful composition and psychological insight, Fuseli created a work that gives form to our formless fears, allowing viewers across centuries to recognize and relate to this representation of nocturnal terror. This bridging function extends even to our modern understanding of consciousness itself. The painting suggests that our experience of reality isn't limited to what we can see and touch in our waking lives, that there are other dimensions to human consciousness that deserve attention and exploration. In this way, the nightmare continues to serve as a bridge between different aspects of human experience. inviting each new generation to explore the mysterious territories it spans. If you found this exploration of art, psychology, and human experience fascinating, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Have you ever experienced sleep paralysis yourself? Or do you have a different interpretation of Fuseli's masterpiece? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective on this haunting work of art.